Hello, this is Ifre Bodega from Wellness, Fitness and Safety Studio. In continuation of our discussion on COVID-19, we noticed some indiscretions by Nigerian government. We all know that COVID-19 came as a surprise to everybody, and when it happened, nations decide to lock down all activities. No going out, no coming in. Why did they do this? To prevent person-to-person or community infection. But as a result of what they perceive as economy of nations collapsing, to prevent economy of nations from collapsing, they decide to introduce a kind of modification. This modification gave birth to what we now refer to as social distancing, where people are supposed to stay apart. People are not supposed to be overcrowded, as we discovered or as we have been told that COVID-19 spreads faster in an overcrowded environment. Then further modification to the social distancing led to implementation of some other easing of lockdown by way of some government policies say that you come to market on these specific days, or specific categories of products were to be traded on specific days and within time limit. These markets, people come to these markets within this specific time, and this has led to rush. This has led to a rush. People rush to these markets because the following day may not be the turn of that commodity or that market. This rush has led to breach of social distancing. This rush has led to breach of social distancing, and this is not the aim of the lockdown or the social distancing. We are to prevent overcrowding, which can breed COVID-19. So these are some of the policies that may not have been 100% and so on. So my own suggestion is that there should be a total close down of all big markets. There should be a total close down of all big markets, because there's no way you can maintain social distancing in such places. You cannot ask them to queue up before they enter into the market and things like that. So let it be closed down. Then we should decentralize bulk breaking. We create more centers where bulk can be broken. We create further markets, and that will help to prevent overcrowding. Then the street shops, the street markets should be allowed to operate, because I've discovered that there's not always crowding in those street markets. Even where they sell food items, there are no overcrowding in those places. Then companies or organizations that employ more than 5 persons or more than 10 persons should work from home. They should work from home, or they devise staggered resumption and closing, or shift, or kind of rotation, to ensure that there are not many people in the office at the same time. Then we should also, businesses that involve physical touching or contact shall remain closed for the time being, because we may not be able to manage it. But if at all they are going to operate, a very high standard of hygiene has to be applied. Then we have also discovered that there's no proper coordination between and among states and even different levels of government. There are counter instructions. Some states allow people to come in, others allow people to remain. So in that case, that haphazard nature has not allowed us to contain the spread of COVID-19. Then our law enforcement agents also should be educated. Let them know the aim of lockdown and the aim of social distancing, because it has turned a gold mine for some of them. They thereby breaching the essence of social distance. They allow people to move around and to even go on authorized journey and park themselves in such a way that social distancing is breached. I hope this will help us. The more public enlightenment shall be given out to the people, most especially. Government has been trying this aspect, but give them the raw one. Show them where people who died from COVID now are being buried, both locally and internationally, because without this, it has been sounding so far and hard to believe from them. So you show pictures of people who died and where they are burying them. This will send the message down to the expanse and then begin to comply. And one other one is that to save ourselves from this spread, I will advise government to include sanitizing our notes, our currency notes, because in this part of the world we handle currency note a lot. So this disease can be transmitted through this way. So I will suggest that you make a salt solution, keep in your shop. Whenever a currency note is brought, dip it into it and sanitize it and keep it. Or when you after sanitizing, you can now spend it. This will go a long way from spreading, from transmitting this deadly disease through handling of currency note. We may not be able to handle a resurgence of this disease because it will be too catastrophic and very, very expensive. Let us be careful and stay safe. As you do that, you will do better in life. This is Ephraim from Wellness, Fitness and Safety Studio. Subscribe to this YouTube channel so that subsequent editions of our YouTube broadcast will come to you. Thank you.